Okay, because some people listening, as you know, will say, because oil companies, as you know, do not have a great reputation in America, and maybe around the world. I don't know. Would you agree with that? Or?
It's a horrible reputation.
Okay.
Gallup.
Self-deserved because you haven't explained yourself well?
We've done a very poor job as an industry of explaining what we do, how we do it.
Or what the research shows and all of that.
Yeah.
You know. Or now, just take Shell, which you can speak for, global warming. What is your position on global warming?
Governments must take the lead to set caps on emissions. Let's start with our own government. Rather than each state taking a position, let's have a national policy on emission caps. Let's then let markets operate to bring those emissions down. A trading system offers a great incentive to companies like Shell or other big industrial companies and utilities. A trading system rewards lower emissions. So those who can't reduce their emissions have to buy credits, and that costs them money. Those who reduce their emissions get the benefit.
Do you believe that the emission standards we have for automobiles should be much higher?
I'd rather approach it from the miles per gallon standpoint. Let's get more. It's very hard to change the chemistry breakdown when you're destroying molecules.
Right.
In other words, burning a hydrocarbon is burning hydrocarbon. We can add catalysts, which we do, to make it a cleaner burn so that there is less solid waste coming from the burning of the fuel and that the engine is burning hotter and cleaner and so forth, and lubricants to support that process. But it's still the destruction of hydrocarbon. So what we then do is extend how many miles per gallon the vehicle gets so it has fewer refills. So less.
Yeah. But here's part of the argument that you know as well as I do, is that there's been some behavioral indication that simply when the miles per gallon is extended, people just drive more.
That's because fuel was more affordable when those statistics were derived.
But that's not healthy, is it, for people to drive more?
Well, our view on how a cap and trade system should work for transportation fuels is that there should be a control at the refinery. So there's a cost of producing this fuel, but then it needs two more elements to really reduce emissions overall. States and their cities should have programs in place to promote less miles driven. Call it congestion charge, call it investments in mass transit, incentives for mass transit, etc. And the automotive manufacturers have to cooperate with an ever-increasing miles per gallon ratio. That's the way you're really going to get CO2 managed down with transportation fuels. So the refineries pay a price, the automakers pay a price, the communities pay a price, consumers obviously pay a price, and that's how it would work.